Hello, everyone. My name's Jamie. I'm from All Movies Fresh. Before you go check out this interview with Coach Ken, go like and subscribe. So today we're joined by Coach Ken from Last Chance U Basketball, which you can check the full review on allmoviesfresh.co.uk. So first off, how are you doing today, Coach?
Man, I'm blessed. How are you?
I'm good, thank you very much. So since Last Chance U, how has it impacted on your life since?
Pretty much just no going out in public like that, really. Everywhere you travel, everybody knows who you are and, want to get pictures and autographs. So that's unique, but it's cool, man. I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world. It's okay.
It's good to see that, how much of an impact you guys have had on these kids as well. Not just the kids, the guys you train, but also the community itself.
Yeah, man, it's been huge, man. It's really been huge for the school, been huge for LA community in itself, and it's been huge for junior college basketball. It drew a lot of attention to some of the needs and some of the help that we need to make sure that we continue successfully moving these guys on and helping them both on and off the court. As you know, junior college, every kid has a problem. It's not necessarily the same problem, but they all have different needs and things that need to be handled in their lives. And so, as many resources as possible is helpful. And so that's the thing that I'm most proud of the show was able to bring out and, start getting these guys some support and help.
For sure. I mean, you're just more than a basketball coach, because I was doing a bit of research about yourself. You actually volunteer and help out at basketball camps, coaches. You also are on the basketball committee in East LA. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. I mean, I do a lot in the basketball community at every level. From camp to training to pro-am to top pro-am to Drew League and JBL. I just have fun with it, man. It's part of my life and, it's the profession I chose. So, of course, I like to stay busy and keep working. So, I put my hands in a little bit of everything.
I think that's the way forward as well. It's not just being in your comfort zone, it's exploring and also finding new talent out there. And we've seen, just from watching that show, you helping out. I mean, I remember I'd say it's a famous scene is when Joe was bashing everything and you came in. And for me, I was thinking, right, how's he going to approach this? And the way you approached it was phenomenal. But then even though he was angry, he still pushed you out, took you out on the wheelchair, back out onto the game and got straight back in it. What would you say you've had the impact on these guys and how do they respect you like this?
Well, I spend a lot of time with these guys on and off the court. So does the coaching staff. Coach Mosley does a great job spending time with these guys off the court. Coach Rob. We all have our different relationships with them in different ways that we motivate and different ways that we skull and get after them. It works, it's a great blend and we're able to do it because we communicate with those guys and we don't treat them like they have to listen to us. We treat them as if, we give respect and we want that respect back. And, sometimes it's tough because they're going through situations off the court that they can't control. And that's where the real frustration is. The real frustration ain't really with basketball. It's the life situation a lot of times that one of them may be going through. And so our job as coaches is to help them through that situation and make it more easier for them and make them see the end of the light, and, sometimes it's tough for a young fella going through some things.
For sure. I think like what I've watched is because I watched this one and the season 5, and I was saying to Coach Mosley, I was saying to Coach John Beam from the NFL, well, the JUCO football one, is that you guys are father figures to these kids. You know, they've come from disadvantaged backgrounds, but they've chose the correct pathway, and you're there on them to help them to guide through. And that's just not after they've left you guys, but in future as well.
Right, right. You know, that's the blueprint.
Yeah.
You know, we know the blueprint to be successful and to prepare you for the next level. And
Yes.
You will take this blueprint and you'll run on with it at the next level. And because of that, a lot of our guys are successful at the next level. They're impact guys both on and off the court.
Yeah.
And they've been doing you know, terrific thing, marvelous thing that, you know, a lot of times society said they wasn't supposed to be able to do
Sure.
because of the neighborhood, the places that they're from. And so, you know, we know how to help them and we know how to get them through. But just like in all things, when you help an underprivileged, you know, you have to have resources. So, you know, we needed that light, and we're happy that we got that light. And
Yes.
hopefully the right people watched and, you know, can make some things happen, especially some of the administrators, you know, because they play a huge part in this, you know, and a lot of times it's grant money just sitting there or, you know, things that could be used and don't get used. And they don't understand how much that really could mean to a kid, you know.
Exactly.
How easy it can make life for some of these guys. So, you know, that's the direction we wanted to head in, and you know, just trying to get more people involved with realizing that it's a problem.
Yes.
We need to come together with us to help solve the problem, get some solutions going, and start going to work on it.
That's it. I think because we've seen as well that you know, you guys were really restricted for funding, and whatever you took, you could you know, whatever you could get, you would take, and just to help your team as well. But you guys made full use of that, and it actually, a lot of it pays off. As the community come more and more together, has the funding started increased to the sports team of ELAC in general?
Yes, you know, we started an e-sponsor page and it did pretty well.
Yes.
A lot of people donated, and you know, we got some things going on campus now because of the show.
Yes.
Where more people are reaching out and want to see what they can do to help, and you know, try to get better. You know, just trying to make it better and easier. They're seeing the great work that we're doing with these kids, man, and you know, they just floored, you know. So now, you know, they see that it works. Now they want to be involved, and that's all we ever wanted anyway.
I mean, that's the key thing as well. It's not just being, you know, playing the part team, it's being involved as well and helping out where others need it. With the pandemic itself, I think the biggest, most harshest thing was when Coach Mosley came off the phone call. He got on the coach and told, you know, everyone, all the players and obviously guys as well, that the 3-day state championship had been affected. But he also said, you know, this was the best team that would have won it. Because you guys were on a 25 winning streak. Would you agree with that statement?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that statement, man. I mean, the team speaks for itself, you know. 29 wins, 1 loss. The 1 loss was a fluke loss, man.
I know.
We lost to a team we shouldn't have lost to, but we revenged that loss and we beat them like by 30. So
exactly.
It definitely was a very, very good team. Enjoyed every moment, you know. Even though it looks tough sometimes on camera, but we had a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun. Those kids were really easy to coach, to be honest, because they wanted to work hard. They wanted to get better. You have your day where somebody's struggling, and you know, we got to wake them up a bit. But you know, I really enjoyed that team. I really did. You know, want to definitely probably the best team that, we had at ELAC and that I've been around.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I think, like us, each of you, Coach Robinson, Coach Kenneth, yourself, and Coach Mosley, all have those different qualities, those different attributes that can help a player regardless of their struggle. You can get them back in that position. It may take time, but I know we only seen parts of it that was documented in that season. But it's not just this team; it's every team before and in the future as well. But how do you feel about that?
I mean, that's what we do, man. We all understand the road that needs to be taken, the commitment and sacrifice that's needed, and able to be successful with these guys. It's not a part-time commitment. Like, it's really part of your life. 365 days a year thing. You never really have a day off when you dealing with guys at this level, because it's always some type of need that's going on throughout the year. So in order to make sure that we're doing things right and make sure they're doing things right, it's a hell of a sacrifice. Not a lot of coaches are willing to sacrifice the amount of time and commitment that you have to put into this to be successful. Everybody want to be successful, but not a lot of people really know what it takes sometimes. And we sacrifice a lot. I think Coach Mosley said it best when he had that speech in the locker room when he was letting them know, hey, I'm missing my son game, my daughter's game. Time with my wife, time with my family. And and so is every other coach, but so are the players too. But they got to understand that's the commitment that it takes. That's the sacrifice that it takes. And,
for sure.
Once they figure that out, man, it really, it really was a fun time.
It's that, I think it's that dedication, that passion you guys have in order to create a successful team. If the NBA was to ring you up and say, look, Coach Kenneth Hunter, we want you to manage an NBA team, which one would you say you'd like to go for?
I would manage any team, man. I would be, it's a dream, man. It's crazy because, a good friend of mine went through this process, and he started just like me, kind of forming teams, doing the pro-am stuff. Now he's the general manager of the Golden State Warriors. So I know it's possible, know. And if I get that call one day, man, I would gladly do it. I would be humbled. I think that's could be my future in the business. Going into management and helping get the right pieces in place and doing like that. But we'll see. God willing. Let's see.
Hey, we could see you. Steve Kerr might be wanting to retire. You could take over, or you could, return to Detroit and create that rivalry like they did. I think did you watch The Last Dance when there was that rivalry from the Detroit between the Chicago Bulls? That was just so you could be behind it, or you could get them the title.
Oh, no doubt, man. I lived that rivalry out, man. I was at a lot of the games, so my father did a good job of making sure that we were able to visually see things, the atmosphere of things. He was big on taking us to all types of different sporting events, and that's something I learned as a father and as a coach to do with my players and my sons and even my family. Give all type of different experiences. And believe it or not, man, a lot of the kids that we get, they have never been to a professional game at any level, and so when we, I'll take guys on the team to a game, or I'll give them my tips, or certain stuff like that, and it just blow their mind, and that's also one of the rewarding feelings too, watching a guy watch his first professional game up close in person, and that's some of the things I take pride in doing.
I think the thing is, it's like what we've seen is there's a lot of relationships between the coaches and also their fathers, how they've took them to the games, shown them what it's like. But it's also you passing it on to you, and then you passing it on to the next generation. So in your case, your kids, but also the players you coach. You took, like I said, a guy to the game as well, and it's an inspiration. So they're watching these guys playing thousands of people, and it builds their momentum, it builds their motivation up to play in professional.
No, out, man, because a lot of times that's the ultimate goal, for these kids. That dreams haven't been shut yet, so they still going, and the ultimate goal is to go get paid professionally. So, it's amazing them being able to see that, and we get to meet some of them sometimes, and it definitely is something that changes the way they think, because they think it's easy, and then they watch it and they see how fast and quick and physical and strong these guys are, and they be like, okay, I see why you be on me about this, and I see, okay, I get it now, and so that's the rewarding part to it, and us as coaches, we get to watch it come full circle.
That, I mean, what's it like we said, we could see Deshaun, we could see KJ Allen, or Joe playing in there, or even Mark as well playing in that NBA, and you could sit there and say, Coach Kenneth B. Hunter joining us today, the one who's created all this dream team. That's it. So, just final thing, just to end today's interview. The final question is, what advice would you give, future athletes, or just general people who are hoping to make it to that professional level?
Man, I always tell people, work your butt off, outwork everybody in the room.
Yeah.
That's start, and then once you outworking everybody in the room, you outworking everybody in your region or your area. Then you are working everybody in the States, and then you out working everybody worldwide, man. It's always, you always got something to prove, whether you know it or not, whether you the number one ranked person in the world or the 500. The number one got to work hard to keep number one. Exactly. 500 got to work hard to move up. So, it's never over. You always competing. You always jockeying for position, and that's how life is. Anywhere you go to work, it's competitive. You gotta produce a certain amount, or you either gonna get fired, or you're making little to nothing. And stuck in that position. So, that's the great thing about sports, man. It relates to real life, especially team sports. Yes. And the work ethic is everything. Learning how to develop your work ethic is the most important thing, and controlling your attitude and your responses. If you can do those things, you can be successful in anything that you put your mind to.
Could not have said it better. Could not have said it better. Thank you very much for joining us today and taking out the time, Coach Kenneth B. Hunter. I wish you the best of luck for the next season and for your future career. And I hope to see you in the NBA. And I'll come and check you at one of your games out, whoever you're managing, and I'll give you a wave.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
See you later, sir. Have a great day.
Okay.
Bye-bye.